Hi guys, so I am back and I stopped by to grab the mail and I received a package and I think I know what it is, so let's open it. Let's open it. I'm excited. I got the other piece the other day to go along with it and I'm excited to use it. I can't wait, you guys. Look at this. Oh, it looks very intimidating. So bulky. So bulky. But it's a bias guide. Woo! Here it is, guys. Oh my goodness, doesn't it look? Look at it! Look at it! What is this? It looks kind of scary, doesn't it? Well, it's a bias guide for sewing. So you're supposed to put your bias through here, and then it fits. There's a foot that I had purchased. It came in earlier this week. It's supposed to connect onto your machine, but once I start using it, I'm gonna share with you guys. So I'm gonna pretend this is the sewing machine, my foot, and it's supposed to go, and I don't know if it's supposed to go flush here. Yeah, I think that's exactly what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be flush there, and then the bias is gonna go feed through there, and then it'll just stitch. So, and these are the size adjustment, I guess. I don't know. I have to play with it. I have to play with it and see how it works, and then I'll bring you guys along. But I'm excited for this. There is no bag to put it on, but that isn't that enormous. It looks very, very intimidating, doesn't it, guys? So we'll see how it works, and hopefully it's gonna help us provide some cleaner bias tape on our project. So I'm gonna wrap it together so I know where to find them, and then I'm gonna keep them in this little bubble wrapper. There. And then this guy I've had for a long time, you guys. I've had this for a long time. I don't even think they sell them anymore. But I've always wanted to make a little stuffed memory bear. So I think this would be, excuse the nails, I think this would be the next thing I'm gonna do with all my fabric scrap from my mask. Look at my scrap. I have like buckets of them, okay? I know they're not massive, but I think these are good pieces that I could piece together, kind of like this. And then once I have a good enough surface to work with, I'll go ahead and take my pattern and start cutting pieces of pattern to build the bear. So that's the project that I have going for all this scrap. There's bags of them, buckets of them. So I have a ton. I could make a good, probably a good dozen bears or whatnot. So, but I don't know if I can make that much, but we will see. But there will be, I know I'm gonna keep one, and my daughter Caitlin is gonna keep one. They're gonna serve as like little mementos, commemorative mementos of our mass production here. So it'll be COVID-19 bear, whatever, mementos for us. And I will probably list a few in my shop once they're completed. And I know I have a bunch of customers that had purchased so much masks for their families and friends. So I wouldn't doubt if they would want a little stuffed bear as mementos as well of this, history for us. So, but anyways, another thing that I have been making for my scrap, because there's so much, and I don't know, would you consider myself a true crafter, a true sewer, a true sewing seamstress? I wouldn't call myself seamstress because I don't typically make like clothing or anything like that, I mean, I can sew them every now and then. When the kids were younger, I would make their little outfits, but I wouldn't call myself seamstress. I would say crafters, I don't know, DIYer, I don't know. Would you consider me as true crafter as such? I don't know what would be the name, because I can't seem to want to throw away bits and bits and bits of fabric. This, to me, I have so much I could do with this. I make scrunchies out of this. I make little bows out of this. I can cut it up and make, I'm not a quilter, so I don't know if I should say quilt. I can piece fabric like this and then make something else. I don't know. Would I consider myself a true sewing crafters? I don't know, because I just have a hard time getting rid of this. For some of you that sews, you could probably relate to what I'm talking about. Look at this piece. If I put it the other way around, I would have a much larger piece that I could work with. I don't think this is big enough for a toddler. Pretty darn close. As a matter of fact, if I was to cut it, I have just enough for a toddler. If I open this up more, I don't know. This one is cut to piece. What will I get? Let's say, so I know I can have another. So I have two of those. So that would make another. It's good enough. The piece is good enough. No, that one is too small, but it's still big enough to make something, right? So anyways, that's my dilemma here, you guys, with all this excess fabric. So what I did is I went on the internet and I just picked, because I can't draw a perfect hexagon, so I went to the internet and then picked a size of an hexagon that I want to work with, and this happens to be what I decide, and it's almost 3/4, I mean 1/4, 1.5 by 1.5, and so that's the size I have. And I trace some batting. Tedious work. Gotta have lots of patience. And then I cut some of those extra fabric, like this pattern right here. I cut them up. You can see it on this guy. And then I cut it enough to where I have enough to like fold it over to have my, what we call in the sewing world, a seam allowance. and you just basically wrap your batting around this guy, and this is just a pretty rough stitching, because once I'm done, I'll just take my scissors and pull the strings apart, remove them, because they're ugly and they're just temporary, holding the fabric together until my next step. But it's very tedious. You have to be patient, and if you have that, you can definitely create what I was trying to make, and they turn out really, really cute. Now, I imagine you can make any pattern or shape, and that's pretty much it. You can sit down and watch TV and just do this on your spare time. So when I do have enough, I would just pick whatever piece, you know, and I created pretty much a coaster. I didn't know how many pieces do I need exactly. I just kept sewing little hexagons until I have so much to kind of play with, and I just went with what looks good to me. So and the size, you know, is that a good enough coasters? You want to make like a doily, then you just keep attaching to this until you get the right size you want. We can keep going that way, you know, and just keep expanding it to the size you want. See where I'm going? It can get bigger and bigger and bigger, but I didn't want to go that big, so I decided I was just gonna make coaster. So I just put them facing together, and I just stitch that, open it up, and then lay the next piece, connect those pieces, open it up, and then of course now I have to attach this section, and so forth and so forth until I got to this piece. And then I went ahead and took it, because I want it to be strong. I went ahead, of course, on the back, once you get them stitches together, it's not a very pretty sight, right? It's not beautiful. Look at that, right? Because you have all these raw edges. So then that's when this beautiful fabric comes to play. I simply just laid my piece. I took a pencil and traced it, and traced the shape. And then I gave myself, obviously, a seam allowance, right? So I can fold it just like I did here. So then I just cut that. I just cut that pieces. And then I sewed it. It's hand stitched. Again, I told you guys, it's a long process, but very, very satisfying to me. And I hand stitched that. I don't know if you can see. I think I did a pretty good job, but I hand stitched. It's that I forget that stitch where it heads, you know, you hide it. So you can't really see the needle, the thread. And so once that's done, I want it to be nice and sturdy. So I took it to my sewing machine. As you can see, I have stitches hexagon on the edge, and so it's nice and sturdy. And that's when I took my seam ripper and started ripping all these stitches out, and then it's finished. And you just want to make sure, be mindful of your little start and end to make sure it's nice and clean, just like this. I mean, this one is not the best, but it happens, like this one, you know. Just make sure it's nice and clean. So, but that's what I came up with. Beautiful coaster. Isn't that pretty? And then I just made sure each and every one, every coaster, they each have each fabric. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but I kind of want it uniform. Anyways, I really enjoyed it. It's such an easy project. I hope you guys will be brave enough to attempt it. If you do, let me know what you think, how you like it. So, alright guys, I think I'll go ahead and end this video. Be well, stay safe out there, and we will talk to you guys again really soon. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye.